Being respected is not enough. If you're on the executive seat, you need a different game. You have to change the game that you're playing. We are talking about enterprise architects being stuck at the managerial level and not making progress, and the 7 mistakes that block them from making progress. I've covered it in part 1. I have covered the mistake 1 and 2. In part 2, I have covered the mistake 3, 4, and 5. In part 3 today, we are going to cover mistakes 6 and 7. And this is episode 136. But before we get to mistake number 6, I hope you're enjoying the videos that I'm publishing on Enterprise Architecture Radio. If you are, then please let YouTube know. Like, share, and subscribe, and comment. All right, mistake number 6, communicating at the wrong altitude. As people grow in their career, the amount of detail that they manage keeps on reducing. You have to understand. As the role expands, when you are a programmer, you're focusing on your own code. When you become a team lead, now you are focusing on multiple programmers working in your team, and you need to understand a larger functionality. So what that means is that you cannot focus on every single line of code. You need to focus on the overall functionality that you're delivering. Now, this is a very crude example, but think about it, right? As you grow the ladder, your responsibilities expand horizontally. And when I say horizontally, I mean span increases, depth reduces. Because you cannot focus on depth and span. I mean, you can try, and to a certain extent, you will also be successful. But if you want to expand your scope, if you want to expand the span of your impact, then you will have to depend on other people to focus on the depth. You cannot focus on the depth. And over a period of time, what happens is you lose interest in the depth. Like, for example, I used to be a fantastic programmer and I used to enjoy programming quite a bit. And even today, I do a little bit of programming, but that is only out of personal interest. At work, I don't want to look at programming lines. Although I'm not in the field of application development anymore, I've sort of pivoted and moved towards infrastructure. But you do lose interest a little bit on the lower level details as you expand your span. It is not possible for anybody to be more detailed as they grow. So they're not interested. So you need to understand who your stakeholders are. When you're presenting to senior leadership, to senior executives, they don't want to know the lower level details of what you've done at work. I know you are very proud of them. All right, you've done fantastic work. Your team has done fantastic work. You're very proud of them. And you might fall into the trap of wanting to talk about it to your leadership team. They don't really care. So you need to understand at what altitude you are having your conversations. Because if you go and tell them about lower level details, you're playing a different game. You're basically giving them a very different message that you don't know what you need to focus on at the leadership level, which means you're not ready to be a leader. If you focus on things that they are interested in and reduce the level of detail and expand the level of span and scope, you don't have to be officially granted that position. You can still talk about things that they are interested in, and even if it is not within the purview of your jurisdiction, right? It doesn't matter. Understand at what altitude you need to play and play it. And that will get you ready for the next level. And that is mistake number 6. People don't talk at the right altitude. Mistake number 7 is the most important mistake that people make, which is personal branding. People think that if they are doing excellent work, then their work will eventually be noticed. And eventually they will get a promotion. Many years ago, I used to work for a services organization, software services organization. And that kind of an environment did exist at that time. It was a smaller, fairly small organization, about, 5,000 people. So globally, so it is fairly small. Like, for example, Capgemini is 65,000 people globally, something like that. Over a million, I think. Over 100,000 people, I think. Not sure, I haven't seen the numbers, but 5,000 people is a fairly small number. And the leadership was really intuitive. They used to keep an eye because they used to realize that in a software services company, programmers are one of the most important assets that they have. And they used to really take care of the programmers or, of everybody really. Okay. And I remember a day when someone I did not know came over to me, who did not even sit in my area, who used to sit in a different building. He came and talked to me because he wanted to talk to me because he had heard that I've done a good job in a particular project, and he wanted to talk about it and then see if there are opportunities for me to move on to a different project. Rarely happens, trust me. Okay. In today's world, if you assume that if you will do good work and somebody will notice you and give you an opportunity, doesn't happen. Okay. I would love to live in a world that is fair and just and would give you what you need just because you've done good work, but doesn't happen. But there is another side of the story as well. I think that kind of a world is not only not possible, but also not right. See, you have to understand, you're a great enterprise architect, and that's why you are where you are. If you want to go to the next level, which is, let's say, executive director, you have to show that you're a great executive director, because they don't want a great application architect or an enterprise architect as an executive director. They want a great executive director as an executive director. Now, existing executive directors or senior executives, they are willing to accept somebody who is not so good an executive director because he hasn't had the experience, but shows potential, who can be coached and trained. And that's what you require. But how will they know that you are half ready? Let's say you're half ready, and you're coachable. How will they know? And that's why you need personal branding. Personal branding is mistake number 7 is not having a personal brand within the organization. And this is a mistake that so many enterprise architects make that I kept it for the last. I want to stress upon it as much as possible. Try to build a brand where leaders see you as potential leaders. Leaders don't see you as great enterprise architects. That you are. Everybody knows it, right? In fact, that could become a challenge. If they see you as a great enterprise architect, they'll keep you an enterprise architect for the rest of your lives. But if they see you as potential leaders, they will eventually coach you to become a leader, not because they want to help you out, but because they see that you might be able to help them out. And that's the whole thing, right? I would give growth to somebody within my organization if they can potentially get me growth. I care about growth, right? There are other leaders who care about other things. My wife is a leader who runs a non-profit organization, and she would give growth to somebody who is passionate about sustainability, right? Who is passionate about doing good for the world. That's what she does. That's her objective. My objective is growth. Every leader has their own objective. Every leader has their own personal interest. And if you show them potential that you can help them in their personal interest, that's how you grow. But how would they know? Through personal brand. You need to build a brand digitally, physically, through networking, through communication, through presentations, whatever it needs. I am not going to lecture you on how to build a personal brand, right? There are n number of trainings out there. Udemy has them. YouTube has them. Everywhere they exist. Personal brand is not something new. It's been focused upon for many, many years now. Personal brand was born before I was born, so it's a very old thing. What I'm trying to say is, build a personal brand that shows the leaders that you have potential to help them grow, and you will go to the next level, and that's a promise. That's all I have for you. And that's the end of the 3-part series of 7 mistakes that enterprise architects make that keeps them where they are and stops them from growing. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then let YouTube know. Like, share, and subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Any ideas about what I should be presenting in the future episodes? And once again, Enterprise Architecture Radio is not just a podcast. It is a collaboration platform. where I am trying to get together a group of intellectuals who enjoy talking about these things, about technology, about careers, about enterprise architecture, about business, about philosophy, if nothing else, and who can learn from each other and guide each other out and help each other out, but most importantly, together have a ton of fun.